God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 69 of Your Journey Is Not Over. My name is Tanya Pearson Randolph. This is my own personal journey, and the expressions and opinions are of my own. I own all the rights to my personal journey, and to Your Journey Is Not Over. Neither are to be used, copied, or edited in any way without my consent. Now, getting back on track and back to January 13th, 2020. My daughter and I left the mortuary and, of course, headed straight to City Hall. I wanted to report the illegal cremation of my mother. I had paperwork and proof in my hand, and I wanted to get the ashes of my mother, in which I was told was picked up from the mortuary by my uncle. I don't know why, but I've had the vision of my uncle walking out of that mortuary with my mother's ashes, sucking on a toothpick and ever so proud, like he was proud of himself for being able to pull this off. I'm sure there was a big payout for all that was involved. And of all people in my family, now my uncle, he did verify to me that all that I'd observed about him throughout the years, I was spot on. My aunt now, that was shocking. But hey, you follow the devil and he will lead you straight to hell. And God does reveal sooner or later. And he sure did. Walking into City Hall, there was a desk and an officer. So I began by trying to explain what had taken place the best that I could. How do you even word it, right? Well, I now realize I didn't then. I was in shock. I was hurt. I was traumatized. My eyes were swollen, almost closed. One look at me, and one could tell something bad had happened. So trying to describe this to this police officer, there was no reaction from him. No questions being asked of me. No raise of his eyebrows even. I have gotten more reaction at a fast food restaurant about missing an item from my order than I got that day about the illegal cremation of my mother. Again, feeling like I was in the Twilight Zone. I was looking around this building that says City Hall in big letters on the building, a place I thought that you went to report a crime. Again, proof and paperwork in hand. He was so passive and really no reaction. My daughter and I were told to have a seat, that a detective would be down shortly to talk to me. After a few minutes, here came a rather young detective. Of course, someone I didn't know. After explaining to him the illegal cremation of my mother, again, second time I asked and wanted a report made. I was denied both times, and then was told there was nothing I could do. And to retrieve my mother's ashes, I would have to take my uncle, the last one seen walking out of that mortuary with my mother's ashes, sucking his toothpick, no doubt. Well, I would have to take him to small claims court to fight to get what was legally mine. And that was cremated and then removed from that mortuary illegally. Only in Muncie, Indiana, I'm being told. My rights had been violated in every way possible. So, my question, even to this day, what good was the penalty of perjury by the state of Indiana form? You know, the consent form for the cremation of my mom? That was false in every way. Everything on that form was false. Again, what good was it? It might as well have been a napkin from a local restaurant that my aunt and uncle signed. At least that's how it was treated at my local City Hall. No big deal. Like I was reporting a DVD had been stolen and cremated. I do understand now it wasn't their mom that this was done to, not their trauma. And I also now know better how things operate. I call it the good old boy system. Whoever would have thought just one local mortuary could have enough friends and power to even cover up their own wrongdoing in the illegal cremation of my mother. You know, just face value. No will, no nothing produced in writing. My mother was sent there, and those at that mortuary went along and did what old friends asked them to, even gave a discount on my mother's cremation. Isn't it kind of strange? Old friends got them into this mess, and it would be old friends, the good old boy system, who would bullshit their way out of it with me. I call it like I see it. It was all bullshit that day. Telling me no crime was committed? What? On what planet? Only what I call Muntucky, Muncie, Indiana. Please join me Thursday as I continue on my search for justice in my mother's ashes. This concludes my podcast for today. Again, please join me Thursday. Listen in, and always remember, your journey is not over. God bless.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been